So standard 12. Today we are going to study topic adaptation from chapter 30, organisms and populations. Adaptation. It is the physiological and morphological change in an organism taking place according to the environment for the organisms to survive is called as adaptation. So students, adaptation actually is a physiological and morphological change in an organism taking place according to the environment for the organism to survive. So students, adaptation actually is the change in the physiological processes of the living organism like respiration, circulation, excretion, etc., and also in the various kinds of modifications in the shape and size of the body, which is called as the morphological change, which take place so that the organism can survive in the existing environment. The hum present in camel helps the camel to utilize fat and survive in desert conditions. So students, hum actually is the morphological change which is present in the camel due to which the camel can utilize the fat stored in the hum. So students, this is the hum of the camel where the fat gets stored, and the camel further utilizes this fat to survive in the desert conditions. So students, the development of hum is actually the morphological change which a camel undergoes so that it can survive in the fluctuating temperature prevailing in the desert conditions. Kangaroo rats utilize fat oxidation for requirement of water. So students, the kangaroos utilize the fat oxidation for the requirement of water. Students, we know that kangaroos are found in the foreign countries where most of the time the geographical regions remain snow covered. So students, in these areas there is scarcity of water, and in order to survive, the kangaroo utilizes the fat oxidation so that it can survive, and for the fat oxidation the kangaroo requires the water. In Opuntia, the stomata is sunken and a specific photosynthetic pathway called CAM is present. Students, in Opuntia, the stomata is sunken. Students, the stomata is sunken in the Opuntia because the temperature where the Opuntia are found is very high, and because of the extremely high temperature prevailing in the geographical region where the Opuntia is found, the transpiration rate is subsided by the sunken stomata, and a specific type of photosynthetic pathway takes place, which is called as CAM. So students, if you concentrate here, so you will be able to notice that in the Opuntia, the stomata remains sunken, that is not easily found because they lie quite deeper inside the outer surface of the Opuntia, so that the stomata remains closed most of the times and ensures the lower transpiration. By reducing the physiological activity, it can survive hot temperatures of desert. So students, here you can notice in this picture there is a diagram of a lizard where the lizard is reducing the physiological activity so that it can survive the hot temperature of the desert. So students, the important physiological activities like the rate of circulation of blood, the rate of respiration, excretion, digestion, these all processes which are called as the physiological activities are actually reduced in the lizard so that lizard can survive in the hot temperature of desert. In seal, presence of blubber insulates and reduces the loss of body heat. So students, in seal, the blubber insulates the loss of body heat and even reduces it. Students, blubber actually is a thick layer which is formed due to the accumulation of fat in the upper skin of the seal. So students, let's understand the concept of blubber in the seal. So students, this is a seal, and in this seal you can notice here that the diameter of the blubber is quite high in this particular area. So students, this particular area, which is also called as the blubber, which you can notice here also, the blubber, which keeps on increasing in width and which helps the loss of body heat from the surface of the seal, because seal remains present in the extremely cold areas of the polar regions where the insulating of the body temperature is quite important, and this can be done only by the help of blubber, which acts as a insulating cover in the sea. During climbing of mountain range, problems of altitude sickness can be minimized by huge increase of RBC in body. It is just another example of adaptation. So students, here we can notice that during the climbing of mountain range, the altitude sickness is the common problem which any person can face. Students, this altitude sickness can be minimized by the huge risk of RBC in body, and it is another example of adaptation. So students, the increase in the number of RBC ensures the more transportation of oxygen, and as a result the person can have enough supply of oxygen throughout his whole body. Students, now let's discuss important question. What are examples of adaptation? The following are the specific examples of adaptation: seal, desert lizard, opuntia. Thank you, students.